Hi, this is Arthur from the Minute Review Show. If you have a minute, I have an opinion. If you ever wanted to try a different cuisine in Manhattan, I have an interesting option to show you. Today I'm at Herald Square in Manhattan, near landmarks such as Penn Station and Macy's. There's a restaurant called Tengri Tagh, which serves Uyghur food. Uyghurs live in Kazakhstan, Kyrgyzstan, Uzbekistan, and mainly Xinjiang, China. Their cuisine is a fine example of regional food found throughout Central Asia. Dishes focus on noodles, rice, and lamb. As we enter the restaurant, we are greeted with beautiful decorations on the wall from the region. Come join me and discover some of the dishes that exemplify the cuisine. You won't want to miss it. Hi, this is Arthur from the Minute Review Show, and today I'm at Tengri Tagh. It's a Uyghur restaurant, and this is the menu. It's a simple two-page menu. We're in the Penn Station area in Manhattan. I wanted to try this restaurant quite a bit because it's a Uyghur restaurant. Now, for those who don't know, the Uyghur is an ethnicity that is in the northwest part of China in Xinjiang, and there are also Uyghurs in the neighboring countries in Central Asia. I've tried their cuisine once before, once in Flushing, and I kind of liked it, and I wanted to see what it was like at this one in Manhattan. I'm going to order a couple of items and show you what to expect if you come to this type of restaurant. And I hope you enjoyed this review. Hey, now let's take a look at the menu. We're going to first take a look at this menu, which is a two-page menu, very simple. We have staple food. This is the what you call lagman. They don't call it that here, but this is the handmade noodles with the meat on top. Here's the stir-fried noodles, ground meat noodles, and pearl noodles. Then you have the staple food. This is what you call dapanji, which is the big tray of chicken. It comes in three sizes. You have rice noodles, a side of flat noodles, which is only $5. And then you have polo, which is the pulao, the famous Central Asian dish. Then you have the dumplings, the ones that are Western Chinese style. Then you have the big bun, which is also known as samsa in Xinjiang. Then you have their bread, you have some yogurt, and then you have lamb soup. Okay, next we have other dishes. Here's a cold fungus salad. We have a cucumber salad. We have the main dish, which is a lamb kebab on noodles, stir-fried lamb, and beef with spring onion. We have another stir-fried lamb dish with cumin, spicy chicken, chive stir-fried eggs, Chinese cabbage with stir-fried with fungus. So yeah, this is a small menu, but you know, it's pretty diverse. In my research about this restaurant, I found out that this restaurant was open in 2022. So it's been around for a while now, about 3 years. So they're doing pretty well, I think. And the food will probably be pretty good. Another thing that I learned about this restaurant is that it's named after a mountain range that stretches across parts of Central Asia into China. And that's what the name means, Tengri Tagh, T-N-G-R-I-T-A-G-H. That's the name of that mountain range. I heard that it's about 20 to 22,000 feet, so it's pretty big. Probably part of the Himalayas. Okay, now let's take a look at the first item. The first item that I ordered is what you call a samsa, or a baked bun in Chinese. Now you can see that there is a bunch of sesame seeds, black and white sesame seeds. Also, there's some filling in there. I think it's lamb. I'm going to open up later on. So in Chinese, I believe this is called kao baozi, or roasted bun. So we'll see. Okay, now let's take a look at the baozi that I got. Now this is also called, I believe, a samsa. And let's break it open. Oh, it's nice and thin and crusty. And what I'm going to do is that I'm going to open it up. Wow, the crust is super nice. And it looks like a meatball, a lamb meatball. I'm going to find out if it really is lamb. I think it is. And look how thin the crust is. I'm really surprised. I thought that the breading would be a lot thicker, but it's actually pretty thin. Okay, Okay, now it's time to try the first dish. First dish is the baked bun. Now this is the baked bun. I found that the skin is very thin, so I'm very happy with that. Might be really good. Let's try this. Now that is very good. I'm just eating the skin. It's very chewy. It's not baked like a bread, it's chewy. It's flaky, almost like a croissant flakiness, but with moisture too. It's really, really good texture. In fact, it tastes buttery. Now let's try the meat on the inside. Very good. Look how big the piece of meat is. It's literally a meatball. In fact, it's almost like kebab meat. The kebab was stuck into the middle of this pocket, and it's very good. It's salted well, not too much, not too little, perfectly salted. The meat goes perfectly with the bread. It's so good. Overall, this is very moist and juicy. Totally satisfying. Even though it's $5, it's totally worth it. The lamb is nice and savory. This is definitely something that I would order again. Very nice. Look at that nice crispiness. I remember seeing a video about this, and this is made by sticking these buns inside a hot cauldron, and then the buns are scooped out with a stick. If this is what it tastes like, I would love to have the real thing in China. The next item on the table is called the polo. Now, the polo is known under different names in different Central Asian countries like Uzbekistan. I think it's called pulao or polo. Yeah, maybe different names, but it sounds pretty similar. Over here, it's made with lamb. It appears to be some carrots and also some long grain rice. And I think it's a pretty mild dish. There's no spiciness to this. I'm gonna give this a try. I will let you know what this tastes like. All I can say is that from the first looks, it looks like it's going to be very filling. The next dish I'm going to try is the polo. Now the polo is served in a takeout container like this. It's pretty big. It's about a 9-inch plate, so it's not filled to the top, but it's about halfway there. There's a good amount. So I'm gonna first try the rice and see what it's like. I can see from the rice that there's some carrots, and I can't see any other vegetables. Let's see if I can identify anything. There's something sweet in there. I think it might be raisins. But yeah, it's basically carrots and raisins. There's some salt in there. This isn't a Chinese dish, so there's no soy sauce or anything in there, but it's mainly salt as the main flavor. I do taste a hint of butter in there. There's that nice animal buttery flavor to it. This isn't bad. The next thing that I should try is the lamb. So here's a chunk of it. I see many chunks of the lamb sprinkled throughout the top of this plate. So let's try this. Okay. So from what I can tell, the lamb is not grilled. It's probably braised, but it's been dried after the braise. I can tell because there's no caramelization from any kind of grilling. It's pretty good. It's nice and tender. I wouldn't say juicy, but it's tender. It goes perfectly with the rice. The overall flavor profile of this dish is mild flavors. The one note that hits both parts of this dish is the butter, because I definitely do taste some butter in this dish. I don't know what it is, if it's ghee or if it's butter, but it's definitely there. Yeah, this is a pretty good portion. I like this. The next dish at my table is the chicken mixed with spices braised in potatoes. Now, this is what you call the da panji. Now, the da panji is actually a pretty famous dish. In New York, Spicy Village makes a version of this, but that's more like a Henan version, Henan, China version of this dish. This is basically potatoes and chicken, and the Uyghur version, I believe, is not as spicy. There's no, I don't think there's any chili in here. You can see from this plate, we could order this in 3 different sizes, small, medium, and large. So you have the potatoes here, you have the chicken here, it looks like all dark meat, and then you do have some, it looks like leeks over here, and there's some noodles down here. For the noodles, I paid $4 extra for this. I was recommended that I should order this with the noodles. This looks really good, and I can already smell the savoriness of it coming right off the steam of this dish. Okay, the next dish that I'm going to try is the big pan of chicken. In Chinese, it's called da panji, but over here, they give it a really long, convoluted name. It's called chicken mixed with spiced braised in potatoes. Not a memorable name, but big tray of chicken is a much better name. In any case, I've had the Henan version of this, but this is the original. This is where it all came from. Upon my original inspection of the dish, I didn't see anything that would indicate any heat. So I'm gonna give each of these, this dish, each of the components a try. I asked for noodles on the bottom, so let's try some of this dish. First, the potatoes. So here it is. Okay, the potatoes are nice and tender. Okay, there definitely is some heat here. This heat isn't Sichuan style heat. No mala, it's just la, it's just hot. And now that I look at it carefully, I do see some red flakes on this potato. I'm not sure if you can see it here, but it's there. Maybe that's what's providing the heat. But the heat is actually pretty mid-level. It's like a 5 out of 10. So you can definitely taste it. Now, I'm gonna try some of the noodles. The noodles here are called handmade noodles. They're hand-pulled noodles. They're the wide noodles that you might find at Xi'an Foods. So let's try this. It has all the sauce. Okay, very nice. It's nice and chewy, as good hand-pulled noodles should be. It's the thick type, not the thin type. You see that they're broad noodles. And wow, it really soaked up all the heat in that sauce. My tongue is burning now. Okay, I take it back. Initially, I thought that there was no heat, but there's heat in this one. I see some ginger here. I'm going to now go on to the chicken leg. Now, this is the chicken leg, cut up into bite-sized pieces, bone in. Let's try it. It's been cooked with the sauces. The flavor of the sauce has fully penetrated in. Here's the heat. I can sense that there's probably some soy sauce in this. I would think probably dark soy sauce. The soy sauce is the predominant flavor in the chicken. Not overly salty. Surprisingly, not overly hot. Only the surface has the heat, but in the middle, it's more soy sauce flavor. Not bad. Let's try more of these noodles. I'm telling you, this dish is gonna stick to your bones. The reason why it'll stick to your bones is because you have 2 carbs, the potatoes and the noodles, and then you have a massive amount of chicken. This is a small, about $13, and there's a lot of food here. Definitely a lot of food. Oh yes, I also should mention that the noodles cost $4 more. So overall, I believe this dish is about $17. But this is a heck of a lot of food. You'll definitely be full with this one dish. Look at that. I just love that flavor. In fact, this tastes very much like the homemade flavor of curry chicken and potatoes that my dad used to make me. This is definitely not curry, but it's in the same vein. Very nice, very homey, home style. Yeah, I think you would enjoy this. Now it's time again for your favorite part of the show, which is, ta-da, the star of the show. Today's star of the show was very easy to choose. I chose what I chose because I love crispy baked things. And today, the star of the show is the samsa, or the Kao Baozi, or the baked bun. So many names. Baked bun is actually the name that they use here at Tengri Tagh. I chose it because that flaky crust was so well made. It was as well made as any French pastry. That's what I recall, because it has this buttery flavor to it that is like a fine dough pastry, and it's done super well. The meat was seasoned perfectly. It goes so well. It just warms my inside when I eat it, and I feel full when I eat it. Even though it's not gigantic, it was so well done that I could eat 100 of those. So that's the star of the show for today. Okay, the meal is over, and I just wanted to say a few things about this restaurant. I see that there's like 5 or 6 tables that are 4-seaters, and there's also 4 tables that are 2-seaters. So there's a nice variety of seating in this restaurant. This restaurant is a long rectangular restaurant where there's only 2 rows of tables. It's decorated with these beautiful items on the wall. I looked up and I saw some hats on the wall, some decorations, and those decorations are really nice. Makes me feel like I'm far away in China. Yeah, I think this restaurant is very good if you come alone or with a small group. If you come alone, you can easily get full by ordering just one item. The portions are fairly big here. You would definitely enjoy that. And also, the food for the most part, I feel is mild. Even though it's spicy, it's not like hit you in the face spicy like Sichuanese food. So yeah, it's a good change of pace. It's different, and just have an open mind and come here. I think you won't be disappointed. Thanks for watching the Minute Review Show, and I am very happy to bring you these reviews. And in the coming months, I will have a more diverse set of restaurants that I will show you. Most of these restaurants will be local restaurants, places that other YouTubers won't show you. So stick around, and I'll show you a whole bunch of interesting places. Thank you. And oh yes, check out my playlist, see what they offer in Manhattan. The final bill was $44.91.